I don't know whether you're old enough to understand this, or I don't know. You will understand this later on. But let me give you some advice about how to play the violin, even though I don't have a violin here in Laguna Beach. First, when you play the violin, make sure that your muscles in your body are not tense. Don't go through too much. Don't feel so much pressure when you play the violin. You have to feel free without any stress in your body. And I will teach you how to do that. I'll find a very good violin instructor who can teach you better than I can. I'm very sure I can find a good instructor for you. And even though it's very, very boring, you need to play scales. You need to play your etude. You need to play your Schroeder, your Karl Flesch. You need to play your Schroeder, your Kreutzer exercises. You need to practice the violin the way Jascha Heifetz played the violin. And Jascha Heifetz doesn't play sonatas and concertos and quartets all the time. He plays only scales, etudes, and exercises. Maybe 12 hours a day. And this is how you should play the violin. Okay? My first violin teacher is an American violin teacher. Not very good. I don't remember her name. But my really good violin teacher is Mr. Lev Belenky and Mark Zemanovich. They're both Russian Jews, and from the former Soviet Union. They're very good at playing the violin, and the Russians are always the best when it comes to the violin. You see, I came from Tennessee when I was growing up with your grandfather and your grandmother. But it's very important that you don't treat the violin like a fiddle. Don't play the violin like a fiddle. You need to play the violin the way the Russians play the violin, because they're the best. And I don't know any Russian violins in Orange County who can help you play the violin. I'm talking about the ones who graduated from the Moscow Music Conservatory. They're under the instruction of David Oyster, because David Oyster probably knows how to teach his students how to play the violin really well. And right now I'm talking to you and your mother right here. Right now you may not understand what a word I was saying before you were born, because you're right here in your mother's belly right here, and I'm telling you my opinion how to play the violin. Okay, this is your mother. Okay, yeah, the Russians are very good when it comes to the violin. They're the best. But never treat your violin like a fiddle. If you do, you will not be a good violinist. And the Suzuki method, the Japanese method, you should avoid the Japanese method, because the way the Japanese train their violinists is the way they make Toyotas and Camrys and Corollas. You don't play the violin the same way you make Camrys and Corollas. You play the violin the way you made a Mercedes, the way you made a BMW. There's a different level of violin playing. The Japanese method is good, not that bad, because there's many accomplished violinists in Japan, but the Russian method is the best. And usually they train their violinists by using Karl Flesch exercises by Jascha Heifetz. Anyway, I'll talk to you later.